We're here. The final stream of the regular season. We're gonna do a request stream after this.
Who's gonna be first? No bets today. Bets might happen during the tournament.
I forgot to put like games to watch anyway.
Yeah.
Heel told me he was going on a cruise soon, so I was like, well, I gotta hurry up for Heel.
Yeah, you actually got 4 days, so he goes, because he told me, hey, get ready to bring back the Ruckus Whip, because apparently I'm supposed to be in charge of the ACAA, so
Do
that
people
means I
even
guess I
play
actually
that
have to pay
anymore?
attention. Me? No. I've sinned like the past 5 weeks. I have not played a game. I think if I get to the playoffs or conference, if I have to play a user, I'm ready to put the belt to ass, but
Nick is the first one in the chat. If you put the ad
if you
in the
hear,
server.
now if y'all
Oh,
hear
yeah.
anything in the background, it's not a domestic violence situation. It's just a man screaming.
Don't call the authorities.
Don't go. Yep, I'm safe. That I know of.
Like, close my door.
Nick is my witness.
I'm pretty sure I'm alone in this house for the next several hours, but still.
Except Simon and Piper.
Yeah, he's sleeping on my bed right now.
Simon needs to go get a damn job. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, honestly, he doesn't do shit around here. You ever think is like, man, it'd be such a great life to just be a fucking animal, just be someone's house pet.
Waiting, literally, someone waiting on your hand and foot. Essentially, like you don't have to clean up your own shit or piss. Like they do it for you. Oh, you don't have to get your own food. They get your own food for you. You want belly rubs? They'll just give it to you. If you want affection, then you just go to them.
The only trade-off is that you only live like probably 15 years, ish, give or take, depending on what breed you are. Especially if you're a dog. I think cats more or less have the same lifespan across all the different types. As far as I'm aware. Alright, how many people are gonna show up here? Tortoise, easy. Yeah, that's true. They live for it. Some of those, the big giant tortoises.
For 100 years, maybe.
Those things
they
live for a long time. Longer lifespan than humans, I think, on average. Damn, is Nick the only one? Did I pick a bad time to launch this stream? Let me put the top 25 up.
I just want number 15 in the team, 15 in the nation, UTA. That's all I want. That's all I want, man.
I need to instigate in Discord. It says Nick is the only viewer.
I know. I like added him. Are you telling me this is a bad time?
1 o'clock on a Wednesday? I guess so.
All right. So we realized, what was it, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock? No, 5 o'clock on a Saturday. Bad, 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 bad. On a Wednesday. Maybe this is the end of the DCAA. Sam don't support us no more.
Yeah, he's too busy and he's injured, crippled.
It's never stopped me.
That is true.
I played.
I can't imagine the amount of times Braden's fucked up his ankle and he still showed up.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Corey's here. Finally, we have another person.
The thing is, I fucked.
He
up
is a
good
fake
ankle.
fan.
That's the thing. I fucked. This is what I played with last season. I sprained my right ankle. Never been injured before in my life. First game of the season. I still played. I couldn't kick a damn soccer ball for a month, but you know what? Trainer said, "Oh, you can still play, Brandon. You just gotta tape it up." Sprained my shoulder, AC joint, first practice because I made the save, of course, but you know I extended it and I heard a pop. Sprained my wrist twice, but you know
Oh
I'm a
my
real one.
god! Heel just subscribed to tier 1. I love you, Heel. No homo, but I love you.
Alright, I think we could get started.
And posting his streak. 450 DCAA monies for him.
Next stream, when you take a break before the what's the word? The request stream, I'll be at 55 out of 55. So I'll be over 15K.
All right, so I want to get Braden's like quick thoughts on this top 25 before we get into the last 2 weeks of the season.
If you said you picked St. Bonaventure in your top 25, you are a goddamn liar. I know who you are. If you say you are a liar, impressive season by them. Just came out of nowhere. They've been terrible in recent years,
I
but
mean, not
24-2 is
terrible. They were
quite special.
very mid. They were very mid last year.
Okay, mid. Kansas State, I hate you because I had you top 25 last year. I hope you lose another 2 games when you fall out. Hawaii, I hope you fall out just for David reasons because David is successful and I just want to hate.
He's success.
Gonzaga.
What team that he's built is like really cooking right now?
That he's built?
I mean, I guess
Queens?
Technically App State, but they were cooking before he started investing in there.
And then they've kind of had a little down year because of that.
Queens kind of failed to start this year. I've been kind of disappointed in them.
Stonehill technically has a championship, even though he kind of lucked into that by accident.
True.
Neil is here, but you know what? Hey, the NEC, you might think you're shit in the NEC, but they're gonna reward you. That's how I feel with CCSU. I'll be like, man, that coach is so shit. Shane knows how many times I ran probably once. I'll be like, man, do I save him? I'm also like, man, he's also won a conference championship, and he literally took an AC to the championship game last year. Like, these are real conversations Shane and I have. But yeah, San Diego State.
Honestly, Sam doesn't really have any success stories yet.
No, he only has one, but he never invested. He went to get milk when it came to Detroit Mercer.
Oh yeah. He put a coach at Detroit Mercy. They're probably gonna finish first in the Horizon League this year.
And they're damn good, but you know what? He don't want to invest. Look at me, UTA, good, and opportunity. Look at Akron. I'm looking at each team in conference. One user has kind of like claimed. I always been saying for the past few seasons, someone just claims to Mac. They're running that. Levi did that. I'm still waiting for Santa Clara. Essentially, it ain't ever gonna happen. I need Fresno. Fresno needs to be saved. They need investment.
Neil needs to submit some guys for Fresno. Running out of time there.
Tried to save NVSU. No, he didn't even save. He kind of put them in the gutter. But Corey is saving the status at HBCUs. I think if Corey just puts a few more like A tiers on Jackson State, he's running that conference. Like, let's be honest here. NEC, it's just nostalgia for Shane and I. David's in it too. It's just fun. Actually, I don't want to think of it because you and I, we kind of take over Wagner's like it's my head coach, but we work on it. CCSU, then David has Stonehill. Sam's got Detroit Mercer. So that conference is kind of evened out.
Nobody had St. Bonaventure. No one did. No one saw the Bonnies coming.
Nick is trying to invest in Washington. He's backing out of USC. Yeah.
All right.
There's a few success stories.
We ready? I think we actually got people in here now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. After enough just babbling on, we finally got
rambling, talking about who's investing in which teams. We just had to talk for a little bit. Had to yap. All right, we're getting into this. It's going to be a pretty short stream, especially the last week. I kind of abridged it a bit. Only talked about the games I thought were actually interesting.
AKA
first game. I know Braden will be pleased to see them fall.
I hate them. I tried.
Little rank clash here in the Big 12. Houston gets the win at home. Close one over K-State.
I tried to give y'all respect last year, and y'all disrespected me by trying to be good this year. But Houston, they're gonna save themselves. Got themselves a top 20 win.
Merciless is still a bench player. Yoni, he's probably gonna start next year though. If I had to make a guess.
Yeah, be patient. This is what happens when you send a custom without putting like 4K, 8K, 12K on them at a big school. They're just not gonna be the guy year one. You gotta accept that. If he went to UTA, he's still down on the bench at UTA.
Kareem Zobel, one of my favorite players in this sim, on God. He's been so consistent. Outside of that one game I highlighted where he was shut down completely. But outside of that, he's been a very good college player. Ben Carrasco had 13 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. Jackie Marshall made a lot of threes for K-State, but they lose by 3. Is he only talking to himself in the chat? That's crazy. All right, next game. I want to shout this one out because St. Peter's had been on a they were on like an 8-game winning streak, but it finally comes to an end
Hey,
here to the first place Merrimack Warriors,
respect.
who I believe they've already locked up first place in the MAC here. They have like a 4-game lead, I think, on second place, so they already got it locked down. Eli Pomerlow, the emerging star center, had 23 and 6. Marco Sant'Agostino doing what he does, 16-3 and 8, normal game for him. Colin Robertson had 19-5 and 7 for the Peacocks. Their winning streak comes to an end, but they definitely revived their season in a big way. They're looking to be honestly kind of bad for a while there. But they have now won 8 of their last 9 with 3 games remaining. Definitely a team that's going into their postseason with some good vibes. Probably a team I'd be looking out for. They've been playing really good ball recently. Only lost this one by 6 to a very good Merrimack team. And then we go pay a visit to the MAC. Levi didn't even pay for these games, but this Akron team is good enough to where I kind of want to highlight them now. And it looks like
Gerald Henry. Ooh, what a performance!
It is a guy they had coming off the bench, but he's been in the starting lineup since Baxter Partland got hurt. He kind of won them this game on some real shit. Feel sorry for Milton Fritz. He's been here at Buffalo since the beginning, but he's always been second fiddle. Looks like the Zips are gonna secure that 1 seed in the MAC. Outside of something crazy happening, they got a 2-game lead and the tiebreaker on Buffalo. That's 22 straight wins for the Zips. 19-0 in MAC now, as they win by 10. Going to the SEC. Kentucky doing your normal Kentucky things, just being mid. Vanderbilt gets a 16-point win at home. Kelvin McAusland is all over the stat sheet in this one. Isaiah Longford at 17 points. Didn't do much else, but he added 2 blocks. Stephen Herson had 14, 5, 3, and 2 steals for the Wildcats. Of all the teams, Kentucky is one of them. Yeah. But I mean, they're getting investment now, so maybe their fortunes will begin to change here in the coming years.
They're getting a top player coming in, but it's like, is one man going to be able to save? It depends. It depends.
Not too late for Malik to flip to DePaul. There's no way you're trying to sell Kentucky to hire Michael Savarino.
Is he trying to say Savarino to Kentucky?
That's such a. If I was a Kentucky fan, I'd probably just end it all at that point.
Yeah. Hell, he would go to the.
I'd probably go on like firebomb Rupp Arena at that point. Anyways, moving on. Another SEC clash, and Tennessee wins a close one here over visiting
San Diego
Mississippi
State's really
State.
about to become top 25. Really gonna be top 25 in the nation soon. Inspirational. But
the Vols,
Jake Brinder,
led by Jake Brinder. I'll let you recap this one.
Jake Brinder with 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. Quandre Freeman, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. And Santiago Kena for Mississippi State, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 7 made 3-pointers. And he tried his best. That's all I can say. He tried his best. There's nothing more you can do when you almost pull up a double-double in scoring and rebounds, and also 7 3-pointers made. The Vols were not defending him at the 3-point line.
Brinder's performance was a big time factor in this one. He's usually not scoring this much. But yeah, Tennessee, good win for them. I don't know whether to feel good about them, considering they literally were 9 and 11 in SEC play last year and they won it all. So I don't know how much stock you put into it. Yeah, they did win a game against Buffalo. They're in cruise control in the MAC now with that one. All right, next game. Speaking of the Pac-12, San Diego State, they cannot seem to beat Gonzaga when it matters.
Never mind. I always said last slide. Oh man, they're about to get top 5. San Diego State, and they just decide to just.
Gonzaga just has their number. I can't remember a time when San Diego State actually beat this team.
Boogeyman chain. That's essentially what it is.
Roydell Lantis, one of the leaders for freshman of the year, had an awesome game, 23-7 and 7. Vance Allworth, the senior custom player, had a double-double and 5 blocks. He was big on defense. Jamie Ferries had 15 points, all on made threes, but no one else for the Aztecs really had some standout performance.
Do you think San Diego State's ever going to get over this? Like, this is a boogeyman chain.
They are. They're good, but they have very well documented issues against Gonzaga. I don't know. They need to. They have a good coach. Mitch Shear is. I trust to keep them competitive. Might have to change their approach maybe. All right, next game. Another SEC tilt. Vanderbilt doesn't go well for them this time. Alabama definitely still on their hot streak. I think this is their 8th win in a row with this one. It was a balanced effort. Guys off the bench got into it with Cameron McMullen at a double-double off the bench. Stan Carell only had 12 points. But their key was their defense. Joey Dillenberg was really the only guy who scored. Everybody else was held down very well. I'm just reading Yoni's chats.
I think that was like a big mistake.
How do you feel as our resident Vanderbilt fan, Braden?
You can't be having these types of losses. Like, you could lose. Okay, whatever. It's number 12. But 22-point game loss, bro. No. Sometimes it's tough in these streets, bro. It's tough, Shane.
More SEC. Kentucky. Kind of a big win for them.
Would you like to do this one?
Stephen Herson. Big time double-double with 2 steals and 4 made threes. Joel Pierce, custom player in his senior season, had 15 and 4. Gio Carlini had 19, 8 and 3 for the Razorbacks, but Kentucky gets a 1-point win. Definitely needed for a resume. I think they're pretty safely going to be a tournament team. Like 10 and 8, got some good wins under their belt. I'm sure the game will let them in. Bama without Samuel. They're much better without him. They're nebulous, Yoni. They don't know what they are. Next game. I'm so sorry, Heel. This puts everything in jeopardy. GCU said we're not getting swept. They go into Honolulu and get a big win. Wonder how Braden feels about this.
I feel good. I know it came at the cost of David, but I'm sorry. You got to do what you got to do, man.
Rashawn Evley with 21 points. Marcus Elbers was good.
When it comes to getting customs, man, you got to do what you got to do, bro. The streets are cold.
Man. I wonder if they survive or if they're going to be cruel to Hawaii. I think GCU is a bad team. 26-2. Oh, and another one. This was a shocker. The win streak finally snapped
And Toledo ain't
at
that
20
team.
at
I almost said
22
21 team.
games. Akron's perfect season in the MAC thwarted in the third to last game by the Toledo Rockets, third place team in the conference. DJ Jones and Bryce Levy both had over 20 points. Spencer Robertson had 24 for the Zips. But Toledo pulls off a pretty big upset. Akron had not lost in a long time. Toledo gets a win number 18 on the season. You don't just walk into Savage Arena, that's true. Big win for the Rockets. The Zips are mortal. We got another Big 12 game. Man, Houston, not a good look here. I didn't think we'd be looking at UCF anymore this year. But hey, they did something cool before the end of the season. Y'all remember when UCF was in the top 5 for like a couple weeks? Those are interesting times. I mean, all in all, they had a good, like, decent season. I wouldn't say good, but better than they've been. Jeff Wilder had 12, 8, and 4. Scotty Kelly had a double-double with 2 blocks. Antonio Ziegler had 19 to lead the Cougars, but everyone else wasn't super effective, honestly. I know Zobel was good on getting boards and assists, but his offense wasn't great in this game. I don't know why Yoni's getting all mad. Sometimes teams play good, and sometimes they don't play good. That is sports. 11-point win for the Knights as they approach the end of their season. Houston, kind of a loss you wouldn't expect from them. Didn't really see this one coming. Next game, the Pitt Panthers shocked the UNC Tar Heels on the road. Pitt, a very mid version of themselves this year. But they balled out enough to get this win. Did the Notre Dame Tar Heels play today? I actually remembered to put their name in right this time. Jalen Thomas, longtime Panthers star, had 18 and 7 in this game. Jason Pinsono had 15 and 4. Travion Teague had 16, 5, 4, and 4 steals. He played pretty well. Kind of a lazy game for UNC, but they're still in that race for second place in the ACC. No one's catching Virginia, obviously. Moving on, another ACC bout, and look, hey, the Duke Blue Devils, they get a win over Georgia Tech here by 15 points.
Probably top 25 team now this way. 20-8, just had themselves a top 15 win over the Yellow Jackets. I'm telling you, I just don't know how I feel about the Yellow Jackets and the depth. Like, they have a lot of depth, but star power is what I mean. I just don't really think they have that.
Yeah, it seems like that's been a problem for them late in this season. They had that 19-0 start. Ever since they lost to Virginia, they've been pretty visibly shaken since that game. Been very easy to pick off. Shaquille Sturgis has been playing okay, but the rest of the team has been very pedestrian. Jatavius Murray Winston, the senior, had 24 and 8 to lead all scorers. Grady Riles, 14, 4, and 7. Win number 20 for Duke in year number 1 under Taj Carr. Definitely an improvement than what they were doing under Savarino last year. So we're moving in a positive direction if you're the Blue Devils. I know our UNC fans won't like that. But if they keep recruiting well, I think Duke will have better years ahead. I believe in Taj Carr. Next game, the final chance, in my opinion, for anyone to knock off the Bonnies in the A10. But they're proving to be the alpha dogs in that conference this year as they achieve a season sweep over the St. Louis Billikens with an 8-point win, another defensive slugfest. Joakim Jolie with 20 points, 6 boards with 2 blocks. Dylan Milazzo with 14 and 3. Jake Hall had 19 and 7 for the Billikens, but the Bonnies proved a 16 and 0 in conference. 2 games left that they are pretty heavily favored in. St. Louis drops to 12 and 4. Still a good season for them. They're in pretty good position to get a bid in the tournament as an auto, or as a at large, excuse me. So if they can just if they play well next 2 games in the conference tournament, they do decent. Probably going to be a tournament team for the 2nd year in a row. But Bonnie's also a team that would probably cash in an at large if they don't win the A10 tournament. 2 teams in good position to be playing in the postseason.
Yo, Shane, I think Michigan rain is headed here because I'm hearing thunderstorms.
How would that happen? You're further west than me.
Shh, yo, storms came here. Look, bro, I just heard a loud crack of thunder outside. All right.
Damn, Sam didn't save his streak. Not a real fan. My accusations have weight.
Man, UTA just goes down, but Virginia Tech, we on the up. Kentucky's still there. Syracuse is a new one. That's actually gonna screw y'all up. It's Syracuse and Vol Tech. San Diego State was close to being top 5, but Michigan State back from the dead. Michigan rises, but look at that, Shane. Look at that. Is that who I see? Who it is at number 10? The committee's like, man, we can't keep
New
putting
Mexico
them down no
State,
more.
the
They're like, we
Aggies.
can't keep. They're like, we can't keep putting them down no more.
St. Bonaventure crawls up to 24. Syracuse back in. Obviously Virginia Tech. Tennessee up to 18. UNC drops to 15. St. Mary's staying put. Yeah, the Bonnies have had a good season, Sam. Got a chance to go unbeaten in the A10. They got 2 more games to get through. They got Dylan Pettis back. It's been good. It's been good for them since his return.
And before Yoni changes up his predictions.
All right, getting into our final week, and wow, we got a crazy one here.
No. No.
Whew!
Oh my God.
Virginia finally tastes defeat. For the first time this season, they won't go 2 consecutive regular seasons undefeated. To NC State of all teams. They had a great performance. Tyler Connolly was awesome. Justin Towns was really good.
I'm actually at a shock. I don't get shocked often, ladies and gentlemen.
One does not simply go into Raleigh and win.
NC State better than UNC, confirmed.
It's just so shocking to see Virginia lose.
Just with the team they've assembled, and you lose to the Wolfpack.
11-point loss at that. NC, I mean, they're probably. I don't think this team's going to make the tournament unless they go on a run in the conference tournament, but a memorable win nonetheless. Wolfpack Girl 49 is cheering in the streets. All right, next game. Got a top 5 tilt between Arizona and Kansas and the Jayhawks, a team I was kind of critical of last episode. They've kind of been hot recently. Trying to make a play for getting this tie at the top of the Big 12. Brendan Lane with 21 points. Agop Katsian doing his thing. Cedric Lake had a really good game, but it was not enough. And Arizona not able to lock up the Big Ten regular season title in this one. So it's still up in the air. What does Braden think about this?
Do you think you put Kansas at number 1 now? How do you do the rankings, Shane?
For like seeding?
It was just like because it's a Virginia loss, while Kansas just got a top 3 win. Like,
I
do
mean,
you move Virginia down? You keep them at number 1.
I'd probably keep Virginia at 1. They're the only team with 1 loss that's up here, which means UTA is the only unbeaten left. Arizona, though, are they going to let it slip? They were so close to being outright champions. Who beat Virginia? NC State. This game loves them some Kansas. Yeah, UTA is not going to get that kind of respect being in the UAC. But yeah, Kansas, kind of proving me wrong right now. I was saying they've been very unimpressive outside of Katsian, who's been their consistently best player. Making me eat a little bit of crow. They've coming down the stretch, they're playing good ball. Next game. Another close ranked tilt. This time in the SEC sees Arkansas snap Alabama's win streak with an 8-point win. Arkansas's Gio Carlini with a double-double and 5 stocks. Good game for him. Jalen McCart had 14 and 9. Added 2 blocks of his own. Brevin McDougal had 13, 8, and 3 steals for Bama. But they finally suffer a loss for the first time in 8 games. Arkansas blowing an SEC championship against a mid-as-fuck Kentucky team. This is the most Arkansas thing ever.
I can see that.
Yeah, kinda. They've been good in this sim, but they have their moments of sort of embarrassment. But yeah, Alabama probably out of the running for vying for like a high seed. Any Santa Clara love? Not in this stream, but we're gonna go over all the final standings and stuff and look at conference tournament brackets, so we'll get to size up all that. Next game. Oh, this is the one that Yoni requested for. Hey, look, Oregon State got a win late in the year. 2 bad teams. Royce Williams had 29 points with 5 made threes. Junpei Satoshi had a double-double with 2 steals. Keon Pope had 22 and 6. Oregon State they're just a bottom feeder now. It's so sad. A mid-off, yeah, for real. but I covered it because Yoni paid for it and I'm a hero. Lipscomb's bad. They're like 7th place in the ASUN. Then we got this game. You all remember our old friend Trayon Crossley? He's still doing things. Unfortunately, this team around him is just not very good, so the record here is not impressive at all. 29, 7, and 5 for him. Marcus Rather had a double-double and 2 blocks. Isaiah Longfort, 13, 4, 4, and 2 blocks for the Commodores. Kind of coming in on a skid here at the end of the regular season for Vanderbilt. This is their last game of the year. Losing on the road to pretty mid Oklahoma team. Only one great player on this team, if you ask me. Yeah, they lost their coach. Things kind of crumbled. I think it was Ian Chester that did that. He went to Baylor. And I'm noticing that Baylor already looks like they have more life in them. All right, next game. Oh, this is the worst possible outcome for Arizona. You can't lose to Iowa State. No, you had the Big 12 title. You've opened the door for Kansas. They lose by 2 to Iowa State. It's hard to, Iowa State's entire starting lineup kind of balled out, but I had to pick 2 that were the best. Ronnie Freeman had 19, 6, and 3. Andrew Schreier, their center, had a double-double with 17 and 13. Justin Goswick had 27 points. But the Cyclones finish honestly, a pretty good season considering where they've been in this sim most of the time. Finishing 10 and 10 is not awful. That might be their best mark they've had. Perhaps the Cyclones are finally starting to build to something. Or maybe they're just trolls. Who knows? But will Kansas tie Arizona and get a share of that Big 12 title? They have to play their boogeyman, K-State, late in the regular season. And this year, they are able to get the win for the first time in this sim in Manhattan with a 7-point win led by Vincent Bettino with 25 points, Terrence Blades with 21 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, and 3 blocks. Brad Sanilak had 16 and 6 for the Wildcats. This is the first time Kansas has ever beaten K-State on the road in this sim. First 3 times, Wildcats won every time. That means Kansas and Arizona are tied for that Big 12 title. Pretty sure Arizona still gets first place in the conference tournament seeding based on the overall record being below better. But for the sake of conference picks, both of them are first place. And that is our final game. Here's our final look at the top 25. I know Braden's looking at K-State at 25 and he just wants to die. I don't really know why they're there, honestly. Big 12 just has one team that just gets way too much credit. I'm sorry, Heel. Hawaii's probably 26 on some real shit. Maryland's been very quiet. No, Maryland's in the Big Ten these days. Been that way for over a decade, I think. Maryland lost to. I know one of them was to Oregon, and the other one was to. I forget what the other one was. I know one of them was Oregon. I want to say. I want to say MSU got them. I know I covered it in the stream. I know for sure they lost to Oregon in one of their games. Akron couldn't quite complete the marathon in the MAC. The game Duke's got to earn their respect back from the game. Also, the ACC isn't like in the best shape in terms of like getting a bunch of benefit of the doubt from these polls. St. Bonaventure, they complete their undefeated run in the A10, concluding the season on a 27-game win streak, by the way. They started the season 1-2, and then they never lost another game since then. Customs are. I'm gonna do those. That closes after the selection show for the national tournament. And then commitments is after the March Madness stream. Once I start off season, I want those. So you got a little bit of time. I know you have a bunch of like potential boosts on your tab right now. You could do some crazy shit at Fresno. Yeah, I haven't heard they dropped. Are they still the 1 seed? I'm just letting all the other teams in the league like do their chaotic trades. I'm just chilling. 2 seed. All right, now I'm gonna reveal the winners of the preseason contest since those are finalized now. The Knicks. All right, first one, our preseason conference winners. First place goes to Yoni. He picked 18 correct. And then Polk is getting second place, which means I dropped to third. I had 17 right. So me and 4 other people are going to get the third place prize. Includes Corey Garrett, Panda, and Braden. Them's the rules I made. I gotta win stuff outright. Because it's a good thing I made that rule because I did win the top 25 contest outright. I had the most. Utah was the one that put me over. They snuck in at the last second. That was one of the teams I had on mine. Heel and Sam both going to get the second place prize. Corey, Nick, Chance, and Neil all win the third place prize for that. We're gonna give the goodies out. I got something from this, damn it. All right. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna show you guys pull up the game real quick. I'm gonna show you guys the conference tournament brackets here. That's Patriot League. I'm gonna start with the America East. UMBC is the 1 seed here, but Maine actually did tie them in conference record. They're both 14-2 in the conference. Mostly because of this man. He's pretty good. He's a pretty impactful player. 97 overall. Wonder if he's got anything to say about a conference championship between them and the Retrievers. I will be seated for that. In the American, the Charlotte 49ers ended up getting that 1 seed there. Finished a game above Tulane, who was the 1 seed last year. Memphis, the 3 seed. Of course, the 2 should be over here, the 3 down here, but it fixes that once you start simming. A-Sun, Nova Southeastern won by like 5 games. They were not really challenged much this entire season. Lipscomb's 7 seed. Their fall off needs to be studied. A10, St. Bonaventure, the 1st seed. They won by 4 games. St. Louis is the 2. Rhode Island is a 3. George Washington, pretty impressive season for them. They're the 4 seed. Fordham wasn't last. They're the 12 this year. In the ACC, Virginia obviously the 1. UNC ends up getting the 2. Duke down at the 6th seed. A little bit better than what they were last year. Georgia Tech, they were so good, but they skid down to 4th at the end of the regular season. Syracuse ends up with the 3. In the Big 12, Arizona still has the 1 seed. Kansas the 2, but both are... If you picked either of these 2 teams, you get credit for the picking the right winner, since they did tie. Houston's the 3. Utah, kind of proud of that pick there. 4th place for them is really, really solid. Good team for them this year. In the Big East, Providence almost let this slip. They ended up with the 1 seed, but they were close to letting it go there at the end. Xavier and Villanova were right there. But it's going to be Providence and Nova with buys. DePaul a little disappointing, but I think their lack of a center is kind of what limited them down the stretch. In the Big Sky, Eastern Washington was pretty dominant this year. Idaho State and Idaho are still good. Interested to see how this one plays out. This conference usually gets pretty crazy in this conference tournament. Big South, Winthrop ended up getting the 1 seed. I know they were one of my picks. I know they brought in 2, Nico Hewitt and Juan Pedro Bagazzi, and came in from the transfer portal. So I was bullish on them. They paid it off for me. In the Big Ten, Maryland finally had like kind of a dominant season. They weren't really talked about that much. Get the 1 seed here pretty comfortably. MSU is a 2 here. Michigan, though, honestly really impressive that they ended up being the 3rd best team in the Big Ten, despite all the adversity they faced this season. Oregon, impressive for them. Akihito Suzuki definitely led them to the 4 seed in the Big Ten. Very impressive year for them. Wisconsin settles in as a 5. Washington is a 6. Illinois kind of had a disappointing year. I expected more from them. They're the 9 seed in the Big Ten. Big West, UC Santa Barbara had like a 6-game losing streak to end out the regular season, so they dropped from 1st down to 5. Cal Poly took advantage. They took the 1 seed in the Big West. Not sure what's wrong with the Gauchos, not gonna lie. UC Irvine, 2 seed. CAA, Stony Brook, proves to be the superior team here. They get the 1 seed. They won it by quite a lot. I think it's like a 5-game deficit. Hofstra and Campbell get the other 2 buys. Campbell, pretty impressive year for them. I didn't really see them being a super high seed this year, but they ended up being that. I know Wilmington's been dealing with injuries. It probably kept them from being like the 5 or the 4. Conference USA, this is New Mexico State's to lose, obviously. Western Kentucky got the 2 seed. I don't think there's any team here that can beat them. But everyone here is free to try. Horizon League, Detroit Mercy at the top. Milwaukee had a glove. They were kind of bad last year, but they're the 2 seed this year. Ivy League, Princeton ended up finishing first. Cornell was the 2, Columbia the 3. Yale and Harvard matching up in the first round. That should be fun. In the MAC, Merrimack, 1 seed. Won that pretty comfortably. Niagara's going to be the 2. The 3 belongs to Iona. Quinnipiac's the 4th. St. Peter's, they won their last 3 games after losing to Merrimack, so they are one of the hottest teams in this conference. Come in at the 5 seed. Definitely a team I'm looking forward to watching how they do. Looks like they're cooking right now. In the MAC, Akron still holds on to the 1 seed. Buffalo the 2, Toledo the 3. Eastern Michigan, who's won the last 2 MAC tournaments, is the 4 seed. See how that works out. UMass ended up being the 5. This conference is so bad after the first 4 teams. Hey, Ohio wasn't last. Good for them. MEAC, Morgan State got the 1 seed in here. Don't believe anyone picked them, so that was just an offer for everyone. Norfolk State the 2, Howard's the 3. I wonder if we'll get some crazy. I wonder if UMass will go on a run or something. Missouri Valley, Northern Iowa, 1 seed here. Belmont's the 2, Indiana State the 3. I think these 3 are the only ones that have a real shot to win it. Mountain West, Hawaii, almost finishes ranked. They're gonna keep the 1 seed here. GCU the 2. I wouldn't be shocked if it's these 2 in the championship game. I'd kind of hope it is. Teams split their regular season games. Kind of want to get a rubber match between them. NEC, FDU won the regular season title pretty comfortably. They're the 1 seed. Wagner's the 2. Stonehill the 3. Coming off their improbable run last year. CCSU is a 6 seed this year. They match up with Stonehill in the first round this year. Yeah, I think they need help. Spartans ain't been doing anything in this sim. Ohio Valley, it's Morehead State's to lose. When they won last year, that was just proof. I don't know who's going to do it, though. They're looking to make it 4 in a row for the Eagles. In the Pac-12, San Diego State keeps the 1 seed on tiebreaker with the overall record. Gonzaga's the 2. They get Oregon State in the first round. Fresno State's the 3 this year. They play Utah State round 1. Mason Hendricks' final hurrah with the Bulldogs. All right, then we got the Patriot League. Holy Cross won the regular season title pretty handily. They were, I think it was a 3-game lead for them at the end. Lehigh is going to be the 2. Boston, the 3. They have Jake Barnes, custom player. Lafayette was ass this year, unfortunately. SEC, Florida keeps Arkansas at bay. They maintain their 1 seed here. Mississippi State, despite I feel like they've been getting clipped more than I thought they would, but they're still the 3 seed, all things considered. Vanderbilt still the 4. Alabama ended up with the 5 seed. They were looking mid as hell early in the year. Then they ripped off that big winning streak to get them out of the total middle class here. Tennessee's the 6, Kentucky the 7, Oklahoma's the 9 seed. I'm not sure about Oklahoma's tournament prospects. They're probably going to have to get past Florida or something. SoCon, Furman's the 1 seed, Wofford's the 2. I think Mercer's got a decent shot to win as well. I think it's those 3. Southland, this is McNeese's to lose. I don't think anyone here can touch them this year. Stephen F. Austin got the 2, Nichols the 3, Southeast Louisiana the 4. Incarnate Word had a pretty good season, but they've kind of cooled off here at the end. They settle in as the 5 seed. Summit League, this one was all over the place. These teams were all so packed tightly together in the standings. NDSU ends up getting the 1 seed, but honestly, I could see you could make a case for just about any of these teams to win. I think NDSU finished first in this conference with like a 10-6 conference record. I think Denver's 7-9, so there's not that much separation at all. St. Peter's is a 5 seed in the MAC tournament. If you beat Ryder, you get the winner of Quinnipiac and Manhattan. All right, Sunbelt. App State ends up repeating. Definitely not as glamorous as last year's team, but they got it done. Marshall's the 2 seed once again. Georgia State the 3. Georgia Southern the 4. Georgia Southern, obviously, they won it last year. Could they do it again? I kind of like their path to at least get to the semifinal. I don't know how seriously I take Old Dominion. SWAC, Prairie View A&M. Pretty proud of this pick. I know I picked them. They ended up pulling away from Jackson State at the end. Speaking of Jackson State, really impressive season for them, getting the 2 seed. Only a couple years removed from being pretty bad. But Thomas Bailey's doing pretty good work there. I've been impressed with what he's done there. Alcorn State the 3, Alabama A&M the 4. MVSU crawled out of the basement. They're the 6th seed once again. They get Southern in the first round. UAC, CUTA is to lose, let's be real. I wonder if EKU can finally get out of the first round. They've been the 2 seed the past 2 years, but they've lost in the first round both times. Tarleton the 3, West Georgia. Despite their injuries, they ended up getting the 4 seed here. I'm pretty impressed by the team's resilience. Although North Alabama's they're a team that is capable of pulling upsets because they got that guy Shahid Rabi who can go off for 30 any given game. And the West Coast Conference, St. Mary's obviously the 1st seed, Santa Clara the 2 seed once again. I would expect those 2 to match up in the championship again. Although Pacific, they've been good this year. They might have something to say about that. But I do think the Gales they've been playing pretty good ball recently, so I'd be pretty shocked if they don't win. But hey, their 1 conference loss this year did come to Santa Clara, so there's a chance. Broncos got to dig deep because they're not going to have Duval for this tournament. They haven't had him most of the season anyway, so it's going to be James LeBron and Keneal Mason. Damian Paulus has been a huge... Probably not. Damian Paulus has stepped up big time this year. He's been huge. What was it? I forget what his injury was. Foot stress fracture. He's getting a medical red shirt because he didn't play more than 12 games. So he gets another year eligibility for that. But he's not going to be available the rest of this season. I mean, pretty sure you guys beat St. Mary's without him the first game. Yeah, he's going to be a redshirt sophomore next year. He's getting a medical redshirt. for that injury. That's just a rule I'm implementing. It's only for custom players, though. If it happens to a random that wasn't created by anybody, that's tough. All right, that is all the brackets. Yeah, that's all. I'm gonna cut the stream here. I'll go live again shortly with the request stream. You guys can ask me what you want to see. Now this regular season's done, we can do some study, and I'll release the pick'em for the conference tournaments here shortly. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I'll be live again in like, I don't know, like 30 minutes probably. I'll let you know. All right, see y'all.